Good morning, students. Say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book and come to page number 67. We are discussing about yearly revolt against British rule in Tamil Nadu. So 6th unit. In today's class, we will discuss about the MARUDHU brothers and DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI. So already you have learned a lot of things about MARUDHU brothers and also DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI. So DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI, so he is from our region. So that is from nearby our area. So he is from Arsalur. You know well about him. So in today's class, how he revolted against the British government. So before DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI, we will discuss about the MARUDHU brothers. So Periya MARUDHU and Chinna MARUDHU. So both were brothers. So they rose against the British government. So initially they work under the Raja of Sivagangai, so Muttuvadaganadhar of Sivagangai. So they only helped Velunachiyar to recapture her throne. But after her death, so after the death of Velunachiyar, so MARUDHU brothers, so they tried to remove British from Tamil Nadu. So for that they form confederacies along with the nearby Nayakars. But they failed in their attempt and they were hanged to death by the British. So what they did, so we will discuss in today's class. Then at the end of this lesson, we will discuss about DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI. So about whom we discussed in our previous class. So Veerapandiya Kattapomman. So Veerapandiya Kattapomman. So he became the Palayakarar of Panjalanguruchi at the age of 30. So on the death of his father Jagaveerapandiya Kattapomman, so he became the Palayakarar of Panjalanguruchi when he was at the age of 30. So initially the company administrators thought he was a man of peaceful disposition. But when the problem arose means, so the English appointed collectors to collect taxes. So the English collectors were arrogant. Especially Jackson. So who was appointed as the collector of Ramanathapuram. So he was very arrogant. So Kattapomman had an arrear of nearly 3,310 bagadas in the year 1798. So Kattapomman had a land revenue arrear of 3,310 bagadas. So collector wanted to send an army, but it was not accepted by the company administration. So he asked Kattapomman. So the collector Jackson asked Kattapomman to meet him. But when Kattapomman tried to meet him in Kutralam and Srivilliputtur, Jackson refused to meet him. So at last, finally, he met Kattapomman in Ramanathapuram on 19th September 1798. So there was a clash between both of them. So after that only, Kattapomman began to oppose English. So before opposing English, so Kattapomman appeared before Madras Council and explained the British government what happened in the Ramanathapuram palace. So the Madras government, so the Madras English government, what they did means, so they suspended Jackson and appointed Lushington as the collector of Ramanathapuram. But Kattapomman, so who was not satisfied with the behavior of the English persons, he joined with the MARUDHU brothers. So along joining with the MARUDHU brothers, he wanted other Palayakarars also to join with them. So MARUDHU brothers so tried to form a confederacy of the Palayakarars. But Sivagiri Palayam refused to join. So Kattapomman he moved towards, so he advanced towards Sivagiri. But the Palayakars of Sivagiri were the tributary to the company. So the company considered the expedition of Kattapomman as a challenge to their authority. So the company ordered the army. So the company ordered the army to march to Tirunelveli. So Lord Wellesley issued orders from Madras for the advance of forces from Trichy, Tanjavur, Madurai to Tirunelveli. So Major Bannerman commanded the troops. On 5th September 1799, Bannerman so attacked the Panjalanguruchi fort. So in a class at Kalarpatti, Kattaboman was defeated and he escaped from the battlefield. But he was captured by the British with the help of the Rajas of Ettayapuram and Pudukottai. So finally Kattaboman was hanged to death on 16th October 1799 in a tamarind tree, so near in Kayatharu. So thus the most celebrated Palayakarar Kattaboman life came to an end in the Kayathar, so in the fort of Kayathar. So this only we have discussed in our previous class. So about Veerabandiya Kattaboman. So how he captured power. So what was the confrontation between company and Kattaboman. Then Kattaboman and the confrontation of the Palayakaras. Then we discussed about the siege of Panjalangurichi, how Panjalangurichi was captured by the British, and finally how Kattaboman was hanged to death. So today we will discuss about Marudhu brothers and DHEERAN CHINNAMALAI. Marudhu brothers, Periya Marudhu or Vella Marudhu. Periya Marudhu was also called as Vella Marudhu, and his younger brother was called as Chinna Marudhu. So Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu were able generals of Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. So Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu, so Marudhu brothers, so they were able generals of Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. After Muthu Vadugar's death in Kalayar Koil battle, Marudhu brothers assisted in restoring the throne to Velunachiyar. So Muthu Vaduganadar, so he was killed in the Kalayar Koil battle. So who attacked Kalayar Koil? So the English company, so the English company soldiers. So who led the company soldiers? Under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Bon Jor. So can you remember that? So while discussing about Velunachiyar, we have seen. So in 1772, so the Nawab of Arcot and the company troops under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Bon Jor stormed, attacked the Kalayar Koil palace. So in that battle only, Muthu Vadugar was defeated and he was killed in the battlefield. So his wife, Velunachiyar, escaped from the Sivagangai palace along with his daughter, and she was under the protection of Gopala Nayak. So from Dindukal. So Velunachiyar, she again captured the throne, captured the Sivagangai palace with the help of Marudhu brothers. So in the last years of the 18th century, Marudhu brothers organized resistance against the British. So in the last years of 18th century, so that is, so at the end of 18th century, so 1799, 1798, so from that year onwards, so Marudhu brothers organized, so they organized resistance. So they tried to oppose the British. So Periya Marudhu or Vella Marudhu and his younger brother Chinna Marudhu were able generals of Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. So after Muthu Vadugar's death in the Kalayar Koil battle, Marudhu brothers helped in restoring the throne to Velunachiyar. But after the death of Velunachiyar, so in the last years of the 18th century, Marudhu brothers organized resistance against the British. After the death of Kattaboman, so when was Kattaboman hanged to death? 16th October 1799. So after the death of Kattaboman, Marudhu brothers worked along with his brother Oomathurai. So after the death of Kattaboman, Marudhu brothers worked along with his brother Oomathurai. They plundered the granaries of the Nawab. So granaries means, so where the fruit grains are stored. So they plundered the granaries of the Nawab and caused damage and destruction to company troops. So Marudhu brothers plundered the granaries of Nawab and caused damage and destruction to the company troops. Some Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu, so both were able generals of Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. So Muthu Vadugar, he was defeated in the battle of Kalayar Koil in the year 1772 and he was killed. But Marudhu brothers, so they helped Velunachiyar, so the wife of Muthu Vadugar, in recapturing the throne. But after the death of Velunachiyar, Marudhu brothers so organized a confederacy and they resisted the British. So after the death of Kattaboman, they worked along with his brother Oomathurai. So both Marudhu brothers and Oomathurai plundered the granaries of the Nawab and caused damage and destruction to company troops. So rebellion of Marudhu brothers, 1800 to 1801. Despite the suppression of Kattaboman's revolt in 1799, rebellion broke out again in 1800. Kattaboman was hanged to death on 1799, on 16th October 1799. So despite the suppression, so suppression means put an end often by force, to a group or activity that is believed to threaten the authority. So, despite the suppression of Kattaboman's revolt in 1799, again a rebellion broke out in the year 1800. So, in the next year itself, a rebellion broke out. In the British record, it is referred to as the Second Palayakarar War. So in the British record, the revolt that broke out in the year 1800 was referred as Second Palayakarar War. It was directed by the Confederacy. So it was directed by a Confederacy. So Confederacy means a union of state, a group of people or political parties with the same aim. So group of people with the same aim. It was directed. So the Second Palayakarar War was directed by a confederacy consisting of Marudhu of Sivagangai, Gopalanayak of Dindigul, Kerala Varma of Malabar, and Krishnapanayak and Dundaji of Mysore. So the Second Palayakarar was directed by confederacy consisting of Marudhu of Sivagangai, Gopalanayak of Dindigul, Kerala Varma of Malabar, and Krishnapanayak and Dundaji of Mysore. In April 1800, they meet at Virupachi. So Virupachi, it was a small village in Dindigul. So now it was near Dindigul. In April 1800, they meet at Virupachi and decided to organize an uprising against the company. So Marudhu of Sivagangai, Gopalanayak of Dindigul, Kerala Varma of Malabar, and Krishnapanayak and Dundaji of Mysore. So all of them meet at Virupachi in April 1800 and they decided to organize an uprising. So organize an uprising against the company, that is against the British. So the uprising which broke out in Coimbatore in June 1800, in April 1800, so they decided to organize an uprising. So the uprising, so that was broke out in Coimbatore in June 1800, soon spread to Ramanathapuram and Madurai. So the uprising broke out in Coimbatore in June 1800, but soon the uprising spread to Ramanathapuram and Madurai. So the company got wind of it. So wind of it means, so the company got aware. So the company got aware about the uprising, and they declared war on Krishnapanayak of Mysore and Kerala Varma of Malabar and others. So the company got aware about the uprising and they declared war on Krishnapanayak of Mysore, Kerala Varma of Malabar and others. So the Palayakaras of Coimbatore, Satyamangalam and Dharapuram were caught and hanged. So the Palayakaras of Coimbatore, Satyamangalam and Dharapuram, so they were caught and hanged. So despite the suppression of Kattaboman's revolt in 1799, soon another rebellion broke out in the next year itself, that is in 1800. In the British record, it was recorded as the Second Palayakarar War. So the Second Palayakarar was directed by a confederacy consisting of Marudhu of Sivagangai, Gopalanayak of Dindigul, Kerala Varma of Malabar, and Krishnapanayak and Dundaji of Mysore. So all of them meet at Virupachi in April 1800 and they decided to organize an uprising against the British. But the uprising, so which broke out in Coimbatore in June 1800, soon spread to other areas like Ramanathapuram and Madurai. So the company got aware. So they alarmed about the uprising and they declared war on Krishnapanayak of Mysore, Kerala Varma of Malabar and other Palayakaras. So the Palayakaras of Coimbatore, Satyamangalam and Dharapuram were caught and they were hanged to death. In February 1801, the two brothers of Kattaboman, Umathurai and Savatthaiah. So in February 1801, the two brothers of Kattaboman, Umathurai and Savatthaiah, escaped from the Palayamkottai prison to Kamudi, from where Chinnamarudhu took them to Siruvayal, his capital. So in February 1801, the two brothers of Kattaboman, so the brothers of Kattaboman were Umathurai and Savatthaiah. So they were under the British. So they were captured by the British when Kattaboman was hanged to death. So when Kattaboman was hanged to death, Umathurai and Savatthaiah were captured by the British and they were put in Palayamkottai prison. So in February 1801, Umathurai and Savatthaiah escaped from Palayamkottai prison to Kamudi. So they escaped from Palayamkottai prison and they escaped to Kamudi. So from where Chinnamarudhu took them. So in Kamudi, Chinnamarudhu took both Umathurai and Savatthaiah to his new capital, Siruvayal. So in February 1801, the two brothers of Kattaboman, Umathurai and Savatthaiah, escaped from the Palayamkottai prison and they escaped to Kamudi. So from Kamudi, Chinnamarudhu took them to Sirvayal, his capital. Yeah. The fort at Panjalangurichi was reconstructed in record time. So the fort at Panjalangurichi, so which was demolished so during the battle at Kallarpatti, was again reconstructed in record time. Yeah. So the British troops under Colin Macaulay retook the fort in April. So the British troops under Colin Macaulay retook the Panjalangurichi fort in April. And the Marudhu brothers sought shelter in Shivagangai. Yeah, so now Marudhu brothers, so they escaped from Sirvayal and they sought shelter in Shivagangai. The English demanded that the Marudhu Bandiars hand over the fugitives. So fugitive means a person who has escaped or is running away from somewhere and is trying to avoid being caught. So fugitive means a person who has escaped from prison. So the English demanded that the Marudhu Bandiars hand over the fugitives. So fugitive, who were the fugitives here? Umathurai and Sabataya. So because they escaped from the Palayangotai prison. Yeah, so the English demanded that the Marudhu Bandiars should hand over the fugitives. Yeah, but the Marudhu Bandiars refused. Yeah, so Colonel Agnew and Colonel Innis marched on Sivagangai. Yeah, so the Marudhu Bandiars refused to hand over the fugitives. That is the brothers of Kattaboman, Umathurai and Sivagangai, Savataya. Yeah. So the British, so under Colonel Agnew and Colonel Innis marched on Sivagangai. In June 1801, Marudhu Bandiars issued a proclamation of independence, which is called as Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. So in June 1801, so the Marudhu Bandiars issued a proclamation of independence, so which is called as Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. Okay, so in February 1801, the two brothers of Kattaboman, Umathurai and Savataya, escaped from the Palayangotai prison to Kamadhi, from where Chinnamarudhu took them to Sirvayal, his capital. The fort at Panjalangurichi was reconstructed, was again built in a record time. So the British troops under Colin Macaulay retook the fort in April, and the Marudhu Bandiars, so under the Marudhu brothers, so they escaped to Sivagangai. The English demanded that the Marudhu Bandiars should hand over the fugitives, that is Umathurai and Savataya, to them. But Marudhu Bandian refused. So Colonel Agnew and Colonel Innis marched on Sivagangai. So in June 1801, Marudhu Bandiars issued a proclamation of independence, which is called as Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. So Marudhu Bandiars, who initially worked under the Raja of Sivagangai, now formed their confederacy. So they issued a proclamation of independence, so which was famously called as Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. So proclamation of 1801. So in June 1801, Marudhu Bandiars issued a proclamation of independence. So what is meant by proclamation? An official statement about something important that is made to the public. So proclamation means an official statement about something important that is made to the public. So the proclamation of 1801 was an early call to the Indians to unite against the British. So the proclamation of 1801 was an early call to the Indians to unite against the British, cutting across region, caste, creed and religion. The proclamation was pasted on the walls of Nawab's palace in Tiruchirappalli fort and on the walls of Srirangam temple. So Tiruchirappalli Proclamation was an early call to the Indians to unite against the British. So we can say it was the first call by an Indian king to unite against the British. So the proclamation was pasted on the walls of the Nawab's palace in Tiruchirappalli fort and on the walls of Srirangam temple. Many Palayakaras of Tamil country rallied together to fight against the English. So many Palayakaras of Tamil country, so they joined together so to fight against the British. Chinnamarudhu collected nearly 20,000 men to challenge the English army. So Chinnamarudhu collected nearly 20,000 men to challenge the English army. British reinforcement were rushed from Bengal, Ceylon and Malaya. So British reinforcement. So reinforcement means extra soldiers or police officers who are sent to a place because more are needed. So reinforcement means so extra soldiers. So they were sent to a place because they were needed. So the Marudhu brothers issued a Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. So the Tiruchirappalli Proclamation united the Palayakaras of Tamil country. So they united against the English. So Chinnamarudhu collected nearly 20,000 men to challenge the English army. So British, so they called their soldiers, extra soldiers from Bengal, Ceylon and Malaya. So the Rajas of Pudukottai, Ettayapuram and Tanjavur stood by the British. So but the Rajas of Pudukottai, Etayapuram and Tanjavur. They stand along with the British. So the divide and rule policy followed by the English split the forces of the Palayakara zone. So the British followed the policy of divide and rule. So they adopted this method to capture our country. So they first divide the rulers of India and they defeated the rulers and captured the country. So the divide and rule policy followed by the English split the forces of the Palayakara zone. So the proclamation of 1801 issued by Marudhu Pandiyars on June 1801 was the first call to the Indians to unite against the British. So the proclamation was pasted on the walls of Nawab Palace in Tiruchirappalli Fort and on the walls of Sri Rangam Temple. So many Palayakaras of Tamil country, they joined together to fight against the English. So Chinnamalai, he himself collected nearly 20,000 men to challenge the English army. So British, so they called their soldiers, so they wanted extra soldiers from Bengal, Ceylon and Malaya. But the Rajas of Pudukottai, Etayapuram and Tanjavur, so they stand along with the British. So the divide and rule policy followed by the English, so split the forces of the Palayakara zone. The fall of Sivagangai. In May 1801, the English attacked the rebels in Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli. In May 1801, the English attacked the rebels in Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli. The rebels went to Piranmalai and Kalayar Koil. So in May 1801, the English attacked the rebels in Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli. The rebels went to Piranmalai and Kalayar Koil. They were again defeated by the forces of the English. So the rebels were again defeated by the forces of English. In the end, the superior military strength and the able commanders of the English company prevailed. In May 1801, the English attacked the rebels in Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli, and the rebels escaped to Piranmalai and Kalayar Koil. So there also they were again defeated by the English. Because so English were with superior military strength and they have the able military commanders. So they were succeeded in their effort. So the rebellion failed and Sivagangai was annexed in 1801. So the rebellion failed and finally Sivagangai. So the palace of Sivagangai was finally annexed in 1801. So the Marudhu brothers were executed in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. So the Marudhu brothers, so they were captured, and they were put to death in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. Oomathurai and Savatthaiah were captured and they were beheaded at Panjalangurichi on 16th November 1801. So Marudhu brothers were executed. So executed means so to kill somebody, especially as a legal punishment. So Marudhu brothers were killed in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. Oomathurai and Savatthaiah, so both of them, so both of the fugitives were captured and they were beheaded. So beheaded means so their head was cut off. So both of the head was cut off. So they were beheaded at Panjalangurichi on 16th November 1801. So in May 1801, the English attacked the rebels in Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli. So the rebels escaped to Piranmalai and Kalayar Koil. So there were also, in that place was also the English defeated the rebels. So it was because the English company have the able commanders and their military strength was superior. So the rebellion failed and the Sivagangai was annexed in 1801. So the Marudhu brothers were hanged to death in the fort of Tirupattur. So in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. Oomathurai and Savatthaiah, so the brothers of Kattapomman were captured and they were beheaded at Panjalangurichi on 16th November 1801. So 73 rebels were exiled in Penang. So exiled means a person who is forced to live away from his own country. So a person who is forced to leave their country, especially for political reason or as punishment. So 73 rebels were exiled. So 73 persons, so who rebelled, who rose against the company, were forced to live in another country. That is, they were forced to live in Penang in Malaya Island. So Malaya, which is in Southeast Asia. So the 73 rebels were forced to live in Penang. So though the Palayakaras fell to the English, their exploit and the sacrifices inspired later generation. So though the Palayakaras failed In their attempt, their exploit and their sacrifices inspired later generation. Thus, the rebellion of Marudhu brothers, which is called the South Indian Rebellion, is a landmark event in the history of Tamil Nadu. So, the rebellion of Marudhu brothers, which is called South Indian Rebellion, is a landmark event in the history of Tamil Nadu. So, Marudhu brothers, so who were the able generals of Muthu Vadagar of Sivagangai, helped Velunachiyar to recapture the throne in the initial years, that is in the years 1780s. But after the death of Velunachiyar, so they became the rulers of Sivagangai. So they tried to form a confederacy against the British at the end of 18th century. Initially they formed a confederacy along with Kattabomman, but Kattabomman was hanged to death in the year 1799. But in the next year itself, Marudhu brothers rose against the British. So they gave shelter to the brothers of Kattabomman, who escaped from Palayangottai prison. So Umathurai and Savataya. But when the British asked Marudhu Bandiyan to hand over the fugitives, so they refused. So the English declared war on them. So the divide and rule policy followed by the English split the forces of Palayakars. So the Marudhu brothers issued Tiruchirappalli proclamation against the British. But the divide and rule policy followed by the English split the forces of the Palayakars soon. So Marudhu brothers were defeated and they were executed in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. So the rebellion, so which is called as South Indian Rebellion, is a landmark event in the history of Tamil Nadu. Carnatic Treaty 1801. So a treaty was signed in the year 1801. It was called as Carnatic Treaty. The suppression of the Palayakars rebellion of 1799 and 1800 to 1801 resulted in the liquidation. So liquidation means the process of closing a company. So the process of closing the local chieftains of Tamil Nadu. So the suppression of Palayakars of 1799 and 1800 to 1801 resulted in the liquidation of all the local chieftains of Tamil Nadu. Under the terms of Carnatic Treaty of 31st July 1801, the British assumed direct control over Tamilagam. So under the terms of Carnatic Treaty of 31st July 1801, the British, so now they got the direct control over Tamilagam, and the Palayakara system so came to an end with the demolition of all forts and the disbandment of their army. So as per the terms of the Carnatic Treaty of 31st July 1801, the British assumed direct control over Tamilagam and the Palayakara system. So who introduced the Palayakara system in Tamil Nadu? Viswanatha Nayak. So in the beginning of this lesson we have seen so the Palayakara system introduced by the Nayakas. So Viswanatha Nayak so came to an end as per the Treaty of Carnatic, so signed on 31st July 1801. So with the demolition. So demolition means so to pull or knock down a building. So with the demolition of all forts and disbandment. So disbandment means to stop somebody or something from operating as a group. So they disbanded the army of the Palayakaras. Okay, next about DHEERAN CHINNAMALai. So 1756 to 1805. So what was the original name, real name of DHEERAN CHINNAMALai? So do you know? Tirthagiri. So he was born as Tirthagiri. So then how he got the name DHEERAN CHINNAMALai? So before saying about it, so just we discuss about his early life. So born as Tirthagiri in 1756, DHEERAN CHINNAMALai was well trained in Silambu archery. So archery means art of or sport of shooting arrows with a bow. So art of shooting arrows with a bow. So born as Tirthagiri in 1756, DHEERAN was well trained in Silambu archery, horse riding and modern warfare. So born as Tirthagiri in 1756, DHEERAN was well trained in Silambu archery and also in horse riding and handling modern weapons. He was involved in resolving family and land dispute in the Kongu region. So DHEERAN CHINNAMALai was involved in solving the family and land disputes in the Kongu region. As this region was under the control of the Mysore Sultan, tax was collected by Tippu's Diwan Muhammad Ali. So Kongu region, during the time it was under the control of Mysore Sultan, Tippu Sultan. So tax was collected from this region by Tippu's Diwan Muhammad Ali. Yeah, so Dheeran Chinnamalai, he was born as Tirthagiri in 1756 and he was well trained in Silambu, archery, horse riding and handling modern weapons. Yeah, so Dheeran Chinnamalai, he was involved in solving the family problems and land disputes in the Kongu region. So Kongu region was under the control of the Mysore Sultan. So tax was collected from this region by Tippu's Diwan Muhammad Ali. Once when the Diwan Muhammad Ali was returning to Mysore with the tax money, Tirthagiri blocked his way and confiscated all the tax money. So once when the Diwan, so when Tippu's Diwan Muhammad Ali, so collected the taxes from the Kongu region and he was returning to Mysore with the tax money. So Tirthagiri blocked his way. Tirthagiri blocked Muhammad Ali and confiscated all the tax money. So confiscated means to take something away officially from somebody, especially as a punishment. So Tirthagiri blocked Muhammad Ali, who was returning to Mysore with the tax money, and took away all the tax money. He let Muhammad Ali go by instructing him to tell his Sultan that Chinnamalai, who is between Sivanmalai and Chennimalai, was the one who took away taxes. So Tirthagiri blocked Mysore Sultan's Diwan Muhammad Ali and took away all the tax money. And said to Muhammad Ali to tell his Sultan that that when Sultan asked who took away the money, who confiscated all the tax money means, tell him that Chinnamalai, who is between Sivanmalai and Chennimalai, was the one who took away the taxes. Thus he gained the name Dheeran Chinnamalai. Thus Tirthagiri got the name Dheeran Chinnamalai. So the offended Diwan sent a contingent to attack Chinnamalai, and both the forces met and fought at the Noyal riverbed. So the offended Diwan, so Muhammad Ali sent a contingent. So contingent means a small band of army. So to attack Chinnamalai, and both the forces of Chinnamalai and Diwan met and fought at the Noyal riverbed. So Chinnamalai emerged victorious in this battle. So Dheeran Chinnamalai, born as Tirthagiri in 1756, and he was well Sultan to tell Tippu Sultan that Chinnamalai, who is between Sivanmalai and Chennimalai, was the one who took away taxes. Thus he gained the name of Dheeran Chinnamalai. So the offended Diwan sent a contingent to attack Chinnamalai, and both the forces met and fought at the Noyal riverbed. But Chinnamalai emerged victorious. After Tippu's death, Dheeran Chinnamalai built a fort and fought the British without leaving the place. So after Tippu's defeat at 4th Anglo-Mysore War. So already you have learned in your lower classes now. So Tippu Sultan was defeated in the battle of 4th Anglo-Mysore War. So Tippu was defeated in the 4th Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. So after Tippu's death, Dheeran Chinnamalai built a fort and fought the British without leaving the place. So Dheeran Chinnamalai built a fort near Archalur and he fought the British without leaving the place. So hence the place is called as Voda Nilai. So Voda means in Tamil, so without running. So Nilai. So he stayed in that place. So that's why that place got the name Voda Nilai. So Dheeran Chinnamalai built a fort and fought against the British without leaving the place. So hence the place is called as Voda Nilai. So he launched guerrilla attacks and evaded capture. So Dheeran Chinnamalai launched guerrilla attacks. So guerrilla attack means so hiding himself and attack suddenly. So and he evaded capture. Finally, the English captured him and his brothers and kept them prison in Sangahiri. So finally, Dheeran Chinnamalai was captured by the English and his brothers, and they were kept in prison in Sangahiri. When they asked to accept the rule of the British, they refused. When Dheeran Chinnamalai and his brothers were asked to accept the rule of the British, they refused. So they were hanged at the top of the Sangahiri fort on 31st July 1805. So Dheeran Chinnamalai was hanged at the top of the Sangahiri fort on 31st July 1805. So Dheeran Chinnamalai, he was born as Tirthagiri in 1756, was well trained in handling modern warfare and also the traditional warfare. So he was involved in resolving family and land dispute in the Kongu region. So Kongu region was under the control of Mysore Sultan, Tippu Sultan. So tax was collected by Tippu's Diwan Muhammad Ali from that region. Once when Diwan was returning to Mysore with the tax money, Tirthagiri blocked his way and confiscated the tax money. He let Muhammad Ali go by instructing him to tell Tippu Sultan that Chinnamalai, who is between Sivanmalai and Chennimalai, was the one who took away taxes. Thus Tirthagiri gained the name Dhiran Chinnamalai. So the offended Divan sent an army to attack Chinnamalai, and both the armies met at Noyal riverbed. So in that battle, Chinnamalai emerged victorious. After Tipu's death, Dhiran Chinnamalai built a fort and fought the British without leaving the place. Hence, the place is called as Voda Nilai. So he launched guerrilla attacks and avoided capture. Finally, Dhiran Chinnamalai and his brothers were captured by the English, and they were kept them in prison in Sangagiri. When they were asked to accept the rule of the British, they refused. So they were hanged at the top of the Sangagiri fort on 31st July 1805. Okay, students. So today's class we discuss about Marudhu brothers and Dhiran Chinnamalai. So Marudhu brothers. So Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu. So they were from South Tamil Nadu. That is from Sivagangai. So they were the first to issue the proclamation against the British to unify the Indians. So they called the Indians to unite against the British. So they were the first rulers in India to issue a proclamation to unite the Indians against the British. But they were finally defeated and hanged to death, and they were executed on 24th October 1801 in the fort of Tirupattur. Then we will discuss about Dhiran Chinnamalai. So Dhiran Chinnamalai, so he is from our region, so Kongu region. So his real name was Tirthagiri. But when he confiscated the tax money from Mysore Sultan's Diwan Muhammad Ali, he instructed him to tell his Sultan that Chinnamalai, who is between Sivanmalai and Chennimalai, took away the taxes. So thus he gained the name Dhiran Chinnamalai. So he built a fort and fought the British without leaving that place. So that's why that place is called as Voda Nilai. So he was finally captured by the British, and he was forced to accept the rule of the British. But Dhiran Chinnamalai refused. So he was hanged at the top of the Sangagiri fort on 31st July 1805. So we have discussed about Marudhu brothers and Dhiran Chinnamalai. So hope you have no doubt in this topic. So if you have any doubt in this topic, so please contact me. So take your book. So page number 68. Textbook reading. Read about Dhiran Chinnamalai. Then homework. So take page number 73. Fifth kilometer. Answer the questions briefly. So fifth question. Highlight the essence of Tiruchirappalli Proclamation of 1801. So take page number 68. 68. So Proclamation of 1801. So in that heading, so from that heading, just see the above point. That is in the rebellion of Marudhu brothers heading, signed paragraph, last point. In June 1801, Marudhu Bandiars issued a proclamation of independence, which is called Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. The proclamation of 1801 was an early call to the Indians to unite against the British, cutting across region, caste, creed, and religion. The proclamation was pasted on the walls of the Nawab Palace in Tiruchirappalli Fort and on the walls of Srirangam Temple. Many Palayakaras of Tamil country rallied together to fight against the British. So this is the answer for fifth question. So write it in your homework note and read it well. Okay, so thank you students. So have a nice day.